What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another unboxing and review video. Now, this particular figure we're going to review today, I'm actually pretty stoked for it. I think it's really cool looking, but we're going to take a closer look at Cable. Oh yeah, Marvel Legends Cable right there. I've actually had this figure for a little over a week, and I've sit there and looked at it, and the more I look at it, the more I really appreciate just how cool this thing is. The Cable character was really neat. The figure itself, the box presentation, everything about this thing just clicks, in my opinion. But if we take a look at it in the front right here, I mean, just on its own from a box presentation, it is just on point. And this is another one of these boxes that has some really great graphics on it. And when you flip it around to the back, you got the one eye right there. I mean, if you're an inbox collector, this is one of those boxes that it just has a presence on a shelf. And I've started to notice more and more of a trend, especially with Marvel Legends, and even some of the new Black Series figures, how the box art and the way they're presenting the figures now, it just makes some cool shelf pieces in the boxes. So the G.I. Joes is another example, and just like the Joes, just like the new Black Series, this is a box that I'm going to keep. I'm not going to get rid of this box, and when I'm done photographing him, and I'm not going to bag and tag this one. I'm going to put him back in the box because it just looks great. So I tell you what, let's open it up. Why are we waiting? Let's get this thing let's get it out of the box. Come on. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We're here to see it out of the box. All right. Crack this baby open. So yeah, and now we've got the Domino figure, which I do not have. I've seen it. It looks great. I don't know yet. I have not decided. But before we really get into the clamshell, check out this back card. I mean, that in its own right is a really cool feature. It's plain and simplistic, black and white, but it just goes to show that you can do a lot with very little. So, yeah, dig it. There he is, right there in the clamshell. The thing that I really, truly love about this figure is the fact that the color on it. The color looks great. But I tell you what, let me get him out of the clamshell, and we will take a closer look at Cable. All right, so we got him out of the clamshell. The only pieces that I'm not taking out of the clamshell, and to be honest with you, I'm sort of learning my lesson here. He does come with two fisted hands, a left and a right. And for now, I'm leaving those in the clamshell because, to be honest with you, it's a left and right fist. I mean, we all know what those look like. But let's start with some of the accessories first. This thing's just so cool looking. It's really just an amazing looking piece. First and foremost, his pistol that he comes with right here. It's got some, for such a small pistol, it has some really good detail to it. Especially along the end of the barrel here, there's some really good line detail in it. The grips have like a checkerboard pattern in it right there, and it's all black, but it actually looks, the detail looks great. I will say this, the slide mechanism right here, I wish was just a hair longer, just a little bit longer. It just looks a little short. It's supposed to be, or similar to, maybe a 1911 Colt, but from like here back. But when you get to the front part of it, it sort of reminds me of a honestly like a Walther style pistol, but it looks great. It's a good looking pistol. It works. He also comes with what I really think is a pretty significantly cool main weapon. Right here, you can see the stock. We got some brown on it. We got some wrappings on it right there, which gives it a little bit of a breakup. There's a tremendous amount of detail in this weapon right here. I mean, it's tremendous. It just looks great. And another cool thing about this, there's some weight to this. It does not feel like a typical plastic rifle. There's some mass to it and weight to it, but as you look at the top of it, there's lots of the details just keep going all the way around it. We got tactical rails. We do have a side scope on it, which is pretty neat. We got a great looking muzzle brake right here, which is the funny thing about this particular muzzle brake. It's a 50 caliber muzzle brake right there. That's typically what you'd see on a 50 caliber rifle, but it's just cool looking. It also comes with a couple of other accessories. This right here would be like a grenade launcher, maybe a M201, M204 style, but right there. It also comes with this other weapon, which if I had to guess right now, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the movie when it comes to these particular pieces. This reminds me more of a shotgun style, something like that. But here's the cool thing. Both of these pieces actually have slots right here. And on the main weapon, there's actually a slot right here or a peg to put the slot in. So there's that accessory there. And right there. That's a very nice touch for a weapon. I would love to see, Hasbro really get a little bit more like this, more realistic style. Having these little accessories that you can customize the weapon it's just cool. I dig it. But that's the actual weapons that he comes with. The figure itself, right here he is. I mean, the head sculpt alone on this thing is just wicked cool. I mean, that's Cable. He does have his cape, which actually comes off, so we're going to take that off for now. It's hard plastic, but it's more of a half cape style. But the detail that's in this is amazing. Now, me personally, I think a little bit of dirt on the edges would have been really cool with this. Even up through here, and maybe even some holes would have been a nice little touch. But overall, I like the design. I like the wrinkling that actually translates into the inside of it, so that way when you're photographing it, you're not seeing smooth like this. You're actually seeing some wrinkling details right there that follow around the back. So that's a nice touch. It'd be nice if it was a soft good, but hey, this is okay. Now, the figure itself, right here, another thing that I thought was really neat about this figure is if you spin him around, the neck detail right here, and it actually runs around to the side of his neck, which is pretty cool. I dig it. I did notice something with the neck here. You can see there's a gap right here, and the head actually, it goes forward quite a bit. Let me see if I can pull his neck back. There we go. This is sort of unusual. It's I don't really understand the thought process behind this, because I don't know. There's a substantial interest with the neck. From the front, it looks pretty symmetric. The back looks a little long to me, and then you got the gap, the side right there. It's okay, but there's definitely some weirdness with the neck area. But we do have a good looking up. But again, when you post him or pose him looking up, you've got a really substantial gap right here, which, yeah, I think this is the first Marvel Legends I've ever seen that when you pose them to looking up, you've got that much of a gap between the neck and the head. So, not a big fan of that because, but how many times am I really going to have him looking up? I don't know. As far as side to side goes, again, it's not bad, but you can see the gaps. Lots of gapping right there in the neck area. So it's almost like the neck part is just a little too wide. And it should have, maybe the head should have been down a little bit lower. But anyway, the head sculpt is making up for a lot of the little nuances that I'm having right now. As far as articulation goes, shoulder-wise, there shouldn't be too much hindering right there. He doesn't have shoulder pads or anything like that. As far as his articulation on his arm, awesome articulation right there. But this arm here, the detail that's on his left arm it's just cool. Especially on the back of the arm. Look at all this detail right here. It's crazy cool. So let's see if his mechanical arm right there. I'm really digging the way these joints are working. It seems like here lately, you're getting a lot more range of motion, in my opinion, with some of these elbows. Moving on down, got a very cool tactical vest. Lots of good details here. We got some little pieces right there. The coloring looks good. I'm curious about the vest is loose. I don't think the vest actually comes off. If you guys know if it does, I've not got to play with it because I just opened it up. If the vest comes off, let me know. As far as his ab crunch goes, let's see what we got. Oh man, he's stiff. Side to side, nothing. I mean, that's about it right there. There's not a lot going on. He's definitely tight. But we do have a good waist pivot, side to side, nothing at all. Put this arm up. Moving on down to his belt right here, we do have the pistol holster. So let's see how that's loose. That's a very loose holster. Again, the design of it, I'm not a big fan of because that is not a practical holster because there's no way of getting the pistol really out. So Hasbro, you could have done a little bit better with the pistol and the holster. Just saying. I mean, it's big. Look at that hole right there. I mean, it's a big holster. Now, I'm assuming, let me look here. It might be from one of these pieces, but I mean, you could almost fit. I think you can fit one of these pieces in here. Yeah, you can. So maybe that's what this is for. So I apologize. But, oh, wait a minute. I found it right here on the back. Right there. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Now that's a pistol holder right there. Pistol holder? Holster right there. So, nice touch. We can put an accessory right there. This particular accessory here, so it looks like the way I would probably store this is this accessory here and put this accessory on the weapon. And then that way all your pieces are accounted for. But getting back to the actual holster itself, let me get his arms. So as we move around, we figured this out. There's the tactical holster for the pistol. This is a nice touch, the bear. I like the teddy bear. That's a nice touch. We do have some extra magazines. And there was another piece that I meant to talk about in the grenades right here for the grenade launcher. Seeing the brass on the end of them, that's a nice little touch. They could have very easily just painted those black and went on. Now, as far as his legs go, we do have this in place, so that did not hinder that leg at all. And we got the teddy bear over here. So right there, that is more than acceptable for the hips. Nothing wrong with that. He does have a thigh pivot or swivel, and it looks like his knees. All right, that's about all you're getting out of the knees, which, hey, nothing wrong with that at all. And the boots, I'm really pleased with these boots because they're brown. That's a nice touch. I think we're all used to seeing, black boots, black boots, black boots. It's really nice to see something different. The buckles on the boot looks really cool. We got a good tread design on the sides. So it blends very well from right here down through the bottom of the shoe or the boot. So the ankle and everything blends in really good. Pivot wise on the foot, not bad. And going, man, he's got a good pivot going down. Another little cool thing I really was digging about this was the actual wrinkling in the pants right here. So if you blouse your boots, it's typical to see a pretty bit of wrinkling right there. So that's a nice touch. Yeah, got cargo pockets. Yeah, this is a cool looking figure. I mean, it's a good looking figure. So I'll tell you what, guys, let me get him posed up, and we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts on the Marvel Legends cable. All right, final thoughts. So I went ahead and just put him in a just a basic little pose. Yeah, I will tell you this: the pistol hands. That's probably some of the easiest ones I've ever actually put into a rifle or a pistol. So, yeah. And I also went ahead and put the cape back on. And I will tell you this, with the cape on, the neck isn't as noticeable. So that could be the reason why they actually did it the way they did it with the neck. Could be because of the actual cape. So if you look at it like right there, when you put the cape on, it's not near as noticeable, which makes perfect sense because he's got his cape on. The pistol, again, I think it's a smidgen small, but it works. So I'm not too terribly upset with that. I did notice something else, which is, again, nothing crazy on it. I sort of wish the teddy bear would have came off. Parts of me sort of wish that was a sort of a separate little accessory. And also his main weapon, it is substantially large for the figure. And trying to get him into some more complex poses with this rifle may be a little difficult. But as you can see, right there. So I just, real quick, he does have enough articulation where you can pose him up with it, but it's a large weapon. So, but overall, it's a really good figure. Paint on it, spot on, no issues there. Articulation, no issues there. Accessories, very well done. Let me show you a little thing. With this accessory here, with the slot, that is very smart because you can actually take, or he's like holding it like this, like he's getting ready to add it. That's a nice touch. That's a very nice touch. So you don't have little pegs. In other words, you've got this nice, well-defined slot. You can actually, I'll show you here. So you can put the accessory in the hand, and that will actually help you line up the weapon for a pose. So that's a nice touch. So kudos on that. Yeah, I mean, I'm hard pressed to find really anything I don't like about this figure. The only issue I've seen is in the neck area. That's it. I've got no issues with the paint. I've got no issues with the weapons. I've got no issues with the design, the sculpt. So I'm telling you right now, if you have not picked this figure up, I would recommend it. It's a great looking figure. It has a very nice presence. It has a great shelf presence. It'll photograph well. The box is awesome, and the amount of detail that's in the face it's just good. It's very good. But yeah, there we go. Marvel Legends Cable. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think about this figure. Let me know if you have this figure. And yeah. Also, I'm going to mess around with it, but I don't think the vest comes off. And the abdomen pivot, articulation-wise, that's probably the worst piece about the whole figure. Is, I mean, it works. Like I said, you can get him in a seated position, but not with the cape on. But you know, if you start pulling him back like this, you're doing it more with the legs, so there's not really an ab pivot. But as you can see, you can get around it. He can sit down, and you know what? That's a win. He just can't sit down with his cape on. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think about this cable figure. And also let me know if you have it. So I think he's out of the box. Now I can start messing around with him. So, but if this is your first time to my channel, please make sure and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you got notifications turned on. That way you'll know when I drop videos. And always remember, toys refresh your soul. And I'll see you next time.